What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one and only Ash Brown, and this is Ash Brown Uncensored. On this program, I talk a little bit about everything. It may be Ash Brown related, but it's probably Ash Brown related. So you got to stay tuned to see what I'm going to talk about, because I could be talking about any number of things. And the end of it comes with is that I'm just going to talk. I'm just going to put it out there. However y'all feel like dealing with it, that it is exactly what it is. So I want to talk today about how people underestimate children. And I say that because there's a lot of stuff that happens in life that children witness and they see it. And it may not fully affect them in the moment, but they're going to have those memories. Now, I recall when we moved to Georgia, I was 6. And by that point, there were just a lot of different factors and a lot of just self-awareness things that were going on with me. And I love the Bronx. I still love the Bronx. I wouldn't live in the Bronx today just because it's a different Bronx today than it was when I was growing up. But I also didn't live anywhere else, so I had nothing to compare it to. Ultimately, the move to Georgia was the best thing that my family could have done. Hands down. Best situation. But early on, it was very traumatic. Very traumatic. And after going to therapy and talking about things, I suppressed a lot of memories of me coping with the changes of this move. Now, keep in mind, I was 6, my brother was 2, and my baby sister was 11 months. She was literally days before turning a year. And yeah, it was tough. It really was. But one of the things that I used to do, and it would just kind of soothe me if I was feeling nervous or if I just felt uncomfortable in a situation, I would just hum. I would hum to myself. And I had a relative to pull me to the side one day and tell me, hey, you better stop all that doggone humming, all that making noise stuff. Cut it out. Or else they're going to come and get you and take you away. You'll never see us again. And to have a person say something like that to you as a child, as a kid, I think it made the situation worse. I think it made me even more nervous, even more anxious about whatever I would face. And I look back at that, and that person, I still talk to them, but they will never truly understand what they did in that moment did to me as a whole. And I don't want apologies from anybody, because apology doesn't do nothing. It is exactly what it is. The only thing that you can really do is do better. Treat people better. Hopefully you're not doing that same stuff today. But I remember how it made me feel. And I remember the hurt behind it. And I remember thinking, I'm not going to trust you anymore. And I kind of didn't. I never trust this person ever again. Even today, they know the bare minimum about my life. And that's exactly what I want them to know. The bare minimum. They don't know enough to criticize. They don't know enough to dissect. They know the bare, square minimum. And I remember thinking even today, I would never do that to a kid. Because I know and I remember how catastrophic an event that was. And that was essentially them saying, you can't self-soothe yourself. Get over your anxiety. Get over it. You're fine. There's nothing wrong with you. And not necessarily that something is wrong with a person, but what's wrong with self-soothing? It's not hurting anyone. What is your issue? But a lot of people have issues that they don't deal with, they never deal with. And they take it on in and through life. And they deflect off of themselves because they haven't dealt with it. And maybe they don't want to deal with it. That's also another part. That's also another portion of it. But, yeah, shame on that person or anyone else out there to shame a child. Shame on you. Shame. And that's just my little tidbit. I know that was a little dark. It was a little darker than we typically get on here, but that's why the show is uncensored. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I don't know how deep we're going to get in it, but I do know that my voice will be heard. That much I can tell you for sure, for sure. But I love you guys. Have a great, purposeful, peaceful, and productive week ahead. And I'll holler at y'all later.